Quincy Jones is a music man, conductor of a great big band. He likes to laugh, don't dig being last. He's a tireless worker with a spiritual drive that keeps his creative mind alive. Why he once took 10 subjects a day, fighting poverty all the way, paying his dues, woodshedding, and learning the rules in different schools. Then one God-sent day, he met Ray. Tell me what I say. And they started to play. After a while, the Guru Ray went his way, sprinkling music until this very day. Quincy went to Europe to learn some more. Lionel Hampton opened that door. Art Farmer, Jimmy Cleveland, and Clifford Brown were around getting down. In Europe, life wasn't quietly spent. Most time was spent trying to get the rent. But everywhere that Quincy went, he won an award and touched people's hearts, gaining great respect. And what will he create next? What will he create next? Back home on this side of the seashore, the movie Pond Broker opened another door. Scoring that brought many more. Quincy Jones, a bridge from the youth of yesterday to the people of today. Why, my daughter told me about body heat, otherwise my mind would have missed that treat. Quincy Jones is a music man, conductor of a great big band. Let's all give a hand to a great big man. How I met Quincy Jones and Peter Long. I was working at the Brotherhood Crusade when it first started. And Peter was brought in to produce a show. He produced many more and taught us all how to produce a show. But I did that poem, what you just heard, with the Watts Prophets at the Shrine Auditorium. Quincy Jones was in the audience. They had snuck him up in the balcony. And he stood up and started crying. And the next morning he called me and he said, "Hey man, I wanna call me at the Brotherhood Crusade." And he said, I want you on my next album. And I said, "Well, what would you like?" He said, "I want a love poem." I said, "I don't do love poems, I'm a revolutionary."
Oh.
He said, "Oh." I said, "But there's a guy in the group who does. His name is Otis."
So sound. Yeah.
And that's how we got on Quincy Jones' album.
Mellow Madness.
Wow.
Mellow Madness, yes. But that's how we met Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
And through Peter Long, who, see, like rappers all over the earth today, but nobody supported us in the beginning. Nobody. Not even those.
Your entry onto that album, nobody supported that? Is that what you said?
No, I'm talking about the Watts Prophets as a whole. That rappers in every nation on earth now. But everybody looked at us as a joke because we were street niggas. We was a little different from the crowd of entertainers. And basically,
You were solid here in town.
Richard and I, we were solid here in town.
Yeah.
Well, it was like this. Black intellectuals were ashamed of us. Grassroots loved us, and white folks was afraid of us. We went through this for years and continue to go through humiliation. But I don't know anybody who's...
Clarity of your work.
That's what counts.
Dismiss any of the complaints anybody had against you?
Well, that was the difference in us. We really weren't on applause. We had a cause.
Hello.
It's just a little different.
Okay.
Now, people might have thought that we was a joke or we was playing. But as I said, we had opposition from everywhere. The FBI burned our workshop down.
Wow.
So, and it's not stopped. COINTELPRO is still everywhere you go. Don't you think they not? So.
I still remember you introduced Stevie Wonder. We did the show at the Century Plaza.
Yeah.
Everybody roaring thunder for the one Mr. Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, that's when I found out that he wasn't blind.
Somebody said he wasn't blind.
Yeah. We went to the studio with him to do some background on that album, Songs in the Key of Life. And he walked in and I watched how he maneuvered around the studio, but I said, but this is his studio, he should know how to move quickly around it. But there was 2 brand new Yamaha synthesizers on the floor, and there were 2 white boys working on them. And when Stevie walked in, he said, y'all ain't finished working on my thing yet? You ain't fixed it yet? And white boy said, well, we working on it. He said, get out of the way. And got down there amongst all that electricity and fixed that thing. And we looked at him, me, Otis, and Richard, we looked at him and said, wow. Yeah. But I want to say this about Quincy Jones. He made us go deeper. The first thing he said to us when we walked up, we had never met him, and we went with our hands out to shake his hands, and he said to us, keep talking, baby, so I can see what key you're talking in. We looked at him, we looked at him, and then he's the one who let us know, he had told us all of this for a long time ago. Wherever there was jazz, there was rap. Wherever there was jazz, for however long there was jazz, there was rap. Everybody knew the jazz musician was known for that hip talk. That was rap. They was rapping. Rapping touched every form of music we ever did. You wouldn't look at Barry White as a rapper, but he was. He rapped at the beginning of every song damn near he made. Lou Rawls rapped on his music. You can go all the way through all of our music and find the fine art form of rap. And the difference in rap and hip-hop is 2 different things. Hip-hop is a culture. Rap is a fine art form.
Hello.
That is constantly evolving. Like I said, you called it a pad, she called it a crib, the next generation called it a spot. Rap is ever evolving, and it's different in every town you go to. What's hip in Detroit ain't hip in Los Angeles. What's hip in New York, the words and the beauty of, you know what? My son Googled AI and asked it about rap. It said it's the only thing that it can't deal with. Because it has too many nuances and it's constantly evolving. It's constantly changing. It's constantly changing. And it's always been like that. And it's been in all of our music. And it come from the slaves. That's where it began. And that's why you find deceit in it. AI even talked about it was deceitful, in a sense. But it's an ever-evolving language that black people have not recognized, but the world has.